Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Thursday, April 6th. Thankful Thursdays, 2023. And I am thankful for all of you that are with us this morning. We have two guests this morning. I'm thankful for sort of a continued conversation. Yesterday, we had the opportunity to speak with our mayor, as we do every first Wednesday, now back on that schedule, and also Jack Fleming from the Boston Athletic Association, which is their major claim to fame, is the Boston Marathon. But Jack yesterday talked a lot about what BAA is doing beyond Boylston Street, beyond the marathon. And we did have some conversation about, the sentiment of 1 and 2 Bostons. And Jack talked about grants that are coming out and investments and how he's working toward equity. I really wish we had some more time to talk to him yesterday. But sort of continuing in that conversation, we have a program and someone that is very familiar with the investment that BAA makes outside of Marathon Day. And also we have the youth and community engagement director or manager or vice president. I don't know if I'm giving promotions out here or not, but blame me for it later. But I am excited this morning. One of these young women are actually a member of the Java Cafe and the Java family. And I sat here and I'm like, wow, the family's going to get to see her. And I mean, some of you all met her a couple of weeks ago at the anniversary. But first, I would like to introduce Rochelle Solomon, who is the co-founder of Black Unicorn Marathoners and also involved in Black Girls Run. And also Susan. And I just love, for some reason, I love saying your name. So Suzanne Jones Walmsley. And so she's here with us as well. I'm excited to have both of you here. Rochelle, we've been working on this for a couple of months, trying to make sure this happened. Thank you for liaising. And also, I would be remiss, and we can talk more about her later, but Gail Hainville, who's involved, who was someone that pushed the idea. I remember I put a post up a few months ago when I was driving down Morton Street, and one of the wonderful events that BAA funds interfered with traffic. And Gail jumped on the post and very passionately got me together and explained what was going on. And so from there, I just want to thank both of you for making sure that we got Jack here and also with both of you today. So Rochelle, we'll start with you. Please introduce yourself, and then we'll go to Suzanne, and we'll just have a regular conversation about what BAA does, as well as what the event is coming up on next Saturday. And for those of you that are just popping in and can't stay, as you do sometimes, go ahead and take a screenshot of this. I will put the flyer on my page. But next Saturday, April 15th, from 4 to 7 p.m., doors open at 3:30 at the Reggie Lewis State Track and Athletic Center at 1350 Tremont Street here in Boston. It's free and open to the public, but we are celebrating the Black Unicorn Marathoners. And Rochelle, in your introduction, introduce yourself and tell us about that. I will first introduce yourself, then Suzanne will, and then we'll go back. We're playing here this morning.
So my name is Rochelle Solomon, and I'm going to say I'm a runner.
Runner, okay.
So I began running about 10 years ago. I had a breakup and decided I didn't want to hit the couch. I didn't want to go home to the couch.
Yep.
So I did a Couch to 5K training program and did a couple of adventure runs. So that's running a certain distance, then climbing over things. So later, one of the friends I made doing that, we learned of Black Girls Run.
Okay.
So I joined Black Girls Run like about 10 years ago. So Black Girls Run is a national organization. Their primary function is to get women moving, because women of color are disproportionately affected by obesity.
Yep.
So that was within their realm of their mission. So I am a member or run coordinator in the Boston Black Girls Run Boston. Um, and through that, just interacting with the group, I discovered myself. I wasn't always social, but I became more social.
Hold on. You? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rochelle.
So I wasn't always social, but I kind of figured out and learned some things about myself. I met Gail there, who has given me quite a bit of professional advice and actually coached me for when I ran the Boston Marathon. So it just, the women I've met in the group, like Michelle Caldera, I've met Michelle through the group, Adrian Benton, and there's a host of others. Just being able to be exposed with different women, different professions, and just hitting the pavement. But, Black Girls Run is not the only organization out there. There's Trailblazers, Pioneers, and a host of others.
Okay.
So that's a little bit about me.
Okay. Listen, I'm glad to hear it. And again, you're in the cafe. So I think this is dual, that folks are getting to know you a little bit more as well, just as being a member of the Java fam. Suzanne, say good morning, greet the folks, and tell us about yourself. And then maybe end with your role and what you're doing there at BAA.
Sure. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. And congratulations to you too, Jimmy. We met last week for the first time when you were honored as a distinguished person of color in Boston, man of color in Boston. So, and I have to say, I didn't realize you had only been on the air for 2 years, because I feel like you are already an institution in Boston. I hear about you all the time from
Suzanne,
the various people we work with. So
Suzanne, go ahead and introduce yourself before you turn beat red. Thank you so much. No, seriously, thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you. So, as you mentioned, I'm the Director of Community Engagement for the Boston Athletic Association. I've been in that role for about 9 years now. And prior to that, I worked with the Boston Athletic Association part-time as a running club coach, and also had worked full-time at that time at Wellesley College as Associate Director of Athletics. So I've been involved in athletics and sports for a long time. I played a number of sports growing up. I was equally bad at all of them until I found running. And I found with running that I could, put in the work and continue to improve. So there was always a goal to go after. And when you reached it, you could reset it. And that's really what's driven me to stay in the field and in the running community, because no matter where you start, no matter where you finish, there's always something else that you can aim for. So I really love the work that I'm doing, and gotten to meet so many wonderful people here in Boston through it.
Absolutely. Rochelle and Suzanne, we in the platform of Rochelle, this, we talk a lot about wellness and healthcare through our partnership with MGH. And so both of you have mentioned running clubs and things like that. And we'll get into the event and Black Unicorners as well. But let's just go a little bit into how you said that you didn't want to go on the couch. There is a wellness component, and I would presume some level of accountability with the clubs. And so let's talk about the benefit of the clubs and what you guys are doing. And then maybe, Suzanne, we can go into that, why BAA makes that investment toward, and this is working toward equity. And so I'd love to talk about both of those subjects. Rochelle?
So in the clubs, you're able to identify people like yourself and accountability partners, their scheduled runs and events around running. I actually wanted to mention one of the programs that I accessed when I still access it now. Okay. And that's Hood Fit and the Road to Wellness.
Yes. Shout out to Uncle Thaddeus.
Yes. So I wanted to mention them because the community and the things that came out of that are phenomenal. Yeah. It raised so much awareness and so much attention for the running programs. So I really wanted to mention that.
Absolutely. And then Suzanne, what from BAA standpoint, why is it this? And first of all, BAA does more than the marathon. Why this specific investment with these groups to work with Rochelle and others? Why is it important to make that investment in community?
Right. It really is important because what we realized as an organization is the marathon had been very successful, and we had some longstanding youth programs that we had conducted with the city. But when we look at the numbers of individuals that compete in distance running and the demographics, it's no surprise to anybody. It's largely white, largely upper middle class, and running is something that, and walking, because you have to start somewhere, is something that you can do, and will help improve your overall health and wellness. And it's a great way to build community too. I know, we talked about the accountability, and also, I definitely want to thank Thaddeus because his Hood Fit 5K really started the conversation around how can the Boston Athletic Association be more involved in running in the city at all levels. And so it was working with Thaddeus, working with the DMIC around the what is now the Road to Wellness 5K, that really started us thinking about what are the things that prevent people from accessing the sport, and how do we help lower and eliminate those barriers? And what specifically can the BA bring to the conversation and bring to the effort? Because the people on the ground that are doing the work every day know what needs to be done. So how can we help support that and make it stable and sustainable?
I'm not sure if Thaddeus is in here right now, but what you just said is so applicable across the board about people, closer to the ground. Our congresswoman says often those that are closest to the pain should be closest, to the power and decision making as well. Suzanne, I'm going to come back to you for this round and ask a little bit. Some people may not know there is this sort of mystery around bibs and the fundraising. Can you talk a little bit about the fundraising and how folks that are running support investments in things like this? And then Rochelle will get into the event next Saturday.
Sure, absolutely. So one of the components of the marathon is that there's about 20% of the bibs that are available, because we have a limited field size at around 30,000. So 20% are reserved for organizations that raise funds that advance the mission of the BAA. And those bibs are, there's a process that people can apply to be part of the program. And then once selected, they receive a certain number of bibs to be able to fundraise. And it's something that has become a great way for organizations here in Boston to be able to fundraise for their programs that also contribute to the health and wellness of people in the city of Boston and in the greater Boston area and the Commonwealth.
Okay, thank you. Because I wanted to make sure that folks, and I mean, they know, but generally that folks knew that it's not just running the marathon, but there's actually 20% dedicated to fundraising to be able to do things like this, and also, keep the marathon running as well. Rochelle, let's, as you get ready to fill us in about the event.
Okay.
Oh.
So on April 15th.
I don't run, but I was blessed. Well, I look like a crossing guard. I was blessed with this last year as a thank you. And so I'm in color with you all. Suzanne, you got yellow in the back. Rochelle, you got it on. And now, Rochelle, the Black Unicorners event.
Yes.
Please tell us.
So I'm one of the co-founders of the Black Unicorn Marathoners. Some of our other co-founders are Adrian Benton, Thaddeus Miles, Jatola Anderson Blair, Philip King, and Alexandria Williams. So our mission is to build community and connections for Black and brown runners coming to Boston to run the Boston Marathon, and also to engage with the local community. So with that in mind, Black and brown runners have been gathering in Boston to connect for like the last 9 years. So for the last 2 years, I'm nervous, okay?
Rochelle, why? We're just here talking. We're almost through. You done made it this far. Please.
The Black Unicorn Marathoners have been hosting an event at the Reggie Lewis Track and Field and Athletic Center. So this year, at 3:30 on the 15th. We will be gathering at the Reggie Lewis to celebrate the Black and Brown runners, local and those coming to visit Boston, and also engaging with the community. This is a free event. Everyone is welcome to come down. We will be celebrating the runners, so they get to be recognized. They get to tell a little bit about themselves. And then we have like comfort stations, massages for them, free snacks for them, and things of that sort.
And let me tell you about the comfort stations and massages. Now, I don't run, but oh boy, that was a beautiful experience last year. But I just have some pictures up about, and it's so what was so amazing for me, and Suzanne, jump in and give some feedback about your experience with this event that's been going on for a few years as well. But it was just amazing being in the Reggie with Black and Brown folks from across the world who are world famous for their running and work that they do outside their running. So it was just an awesome experience. These are just one of the pictures. But Suzanne, your experience with the Black Unicorners event.
Oh, it is fantastic. And, talk about thankful. I'm so thankful to have been invited and brought in. I've attended since the second party that they've had in celebration. And, I agree with you. It's amazing. The energy in the room is just enormous. People are so excited. They've worked hard to qualify or fundraise to be able to participate in Boston. And the accomplishments in the room are extraordinary. People that have run 7 marathons in 7 continents, people that have run marathons in 50 states. It's just incredible.
Rochelle, do you remember the I'm going to say young man. Do you remember the elder that was there last year?
Yes, he was in the first picture.
He was in. Okay, let me go back. All right, you tell us about him, and Rochelle, sometimes tech don't work with me the way. Tell us a little bit about him, because I was amazed. Oh, there he is. Okay, let's bring him back.
I do remember, but he was like 70 years old.
Yeah,
and
this
still
young
running
man. You see
marathons.
my arrow. This young man, right? Well, this man right here. I was so impressed. Like, he was in better shape than some of us older folks. It just is a real amazing event, and with so much going on. And let me just be honest with, we name some of the sentiment that I think has risen just because we're talking about the anniversary of the horrific event that happened in 2013. But if you want to get a taste of Black and Brown involved in the marathon, this is, well, I'm pointing at the picture, but come out next Saturday. And just be in the room. It is so amazing. It's like a feeling of family. You all have your own language and your own, the times and all this other stuff with the stuff. But it is just amazing. I'm excited to be able to go next week as well. Is there anything that we missed that I know, Suzanne, if you can? I know Jack mentioned yesterday that there's grant opportunities coming. I don't know if you can. I know he's going to announce it later, but anything that you can share that's coming up from the community engagement end.
Right. So we've actually really started to hit our stride. Boston Running Collaborative was formed.
Hold on. Did you hear that language? We started to hit our stride. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
The running puns just come.
You're good.
Yeah, so as a Boston Running Collaborative, we're in our second year, and we've already really been able to accomplish a lot. The biggest thing was really bringing everybody together who's doing the work around running and walking in Boston and communities of color. The organizations are founded by or led by individuals of color, and it's been a great experience to figure out what are those things, what are those activities that we can combine on to be able to lower and eliminate those barriers. And so funding is, of course, one of them. Like I mentioned, the individuals that are doing the work know what they need. They just need the resources to be able to do it. And so being able to support in that way is really important. We had a series last summer, which we will be doing again. And once I have the flyer, I'll share it with you. In the city of youth track meets, free youth track meets that we moved to the different tracks throughout the city. So Madison Park, Moakley Park, White Stadium in East Boston. And those are for kids ages 4 to 14 to just come out and give the sport a try, have fun, get a ribbon, and just hopefully come back for the others. And on the adult side, this year we were able to invite 9 individuals from Boston. We call them Boston's Marathoners, and they'll be participating in the marathon. And it was for individuals that maybe aren't quite able to hit the qualifying time or have the resources to be able to fundraise $10,000, but have been doing a lot of work and are great runners here in the city. So there's a nomination process through the BRC. So they were nominated by and selected by their peers, and they'll be running the Boston Marathon this year. And we're really looking to work on expanding that program in the years to come as well.
Suzanne, please, you, Jack, Lorna, and the team, knowing you have Rochelle and Thaddeus in them, but any way that we can support, be a partner, and help, please let us know. And you mentioned Moakley Park. I'm going to sidebar you later today because there's an event coming up in June, and we might be able to expand some of the programming, maybe with some running options for the young people as well. Rochelle, what are the highlights, of any highlights for Saturday you wanted to share? I know we're there 3 to 7. It's at the Reggie. Let me put the flyer back up to make sure I have everything right. But share some highlights. What can we look forward to? 4 to 7. Before I have
to piggyback off of Suzanne, because it's still for us, a lot of times we look at running a marathon as impossible. But what I want to put out there is still the Road to Wellness program.
That's right.
I know Gail worked with developing that program and all the training behind it, but that program is still happening. Mm-hmm. So on June 3rd, Franklin Park, Playstead area at 8:45 a.m. will be the first training session. So there's several training sessions around the Road to Wellness program that enable someone to run, if they wanted to run 3.1 miles, or even teaches someone how to effectively walk, because walking is movement and walking is great form of physical activity. So now I'll transition back to the
show. It's your show. I could just pop in the back and you just
I just wanted to say
nervous.
That because I feel a lot of times people get discouraged.
Yes.
They say, I can't possibly do a marathon. And to be real, you can do a 13.1 mile walk on the BAA's half marathon. Okay. And often folks don't realize the route piggybacks areas that we always walking. I always see faces like me when I go around Franklin Park. And they walk those areas, they run those areas. So I just feel like it's important for folks to know, like, walking is a viable form of activity. Mm-hmm. And the Road to Wellness program does have training if you want to walk more effectively or even transition from walking to running. Okay.
Go ahead. This is your show. Go ahead. But no, because we move in this space, Suzanne, often of wellness. You talked about earlier, walking as well as an option for those that maybe can't run. And I won a 5K last year, or I think it was 21. I didn't walk the whole thing, but I followed Uncle Thaddeus in some shortcuts, and it was interesting. And so, but I did feel sort of accomplished that I did kind of go through the shortcuts and walk. It was, I felt it in my legs that evening. But Rochelle, tell us about Saturday.
So Saturday, what we will do is we are going to acknowledge the events of 10 years ago. So we'll have a moment of silence.
Okay. Yep.
For remembrance of the victims of that event. We do have a blessing on the runners, and then we allow each runner that's running the Boston Marathon this year to introduce themselves and tell a little bit about themselves. We will have welcomes from the Roxbury Community College, the Boston Running Collaborative, and the BAA and state and city officials will be there. And then you'll get to mix and mingle and kind of, engage with folks and learn a little bit more about folks.
There's a DJ there last year too, right? Did we have it? We had music.
Yes.
Okay.
So we had music. So it's really a great event, and there'll be all the other running groups are going to come. There's Pioneers will be there, Trailblazers will be there. There'll be different interesting folks to connect with and just have community.
Absolutely. Folks, I wanted to let you know, I went in to try to tag it to the top, and Facebook does what it does. And so when we get off, you'll be able to go. There's a hyperlink. You can see it here, but just look for this comment. Please go and register. It's open to the public, but as someone that does events, if you can register. Try not just to show up, though it's open to the public. But don't forget, on Saturday at 4 p.m. doors open at 3:30. So I suggest you get there on time. It is a great event, and to be familiar, it might be a good introductory way to get familiar with BAA and the Black Unicorners. And Suzanne, I'm sure you'll be there. You can meet Suzanne. Definitely go and meet Rochelle and Adrian. I talked to Michelle last evening. She's not going to be with us this year, but I'm sure Gail will be there. Uncle Thaddeus will be there, and others. And so please come out next Saturday. Go ahead, Rochelle. Look like there was something.
One last thing,
Go ahead,
I have to mention this.
Yes.
So at the event will be the Marilyn Bevins team that will be running the marathon in her honor. So Marilyn Bevins in 1970, I'm reading from a paper because I have to memorize this at some point. So in 1977, she became the first Black woman to medal and at the Boston Marathon for that year with a time of 2 hours, 51 minutes, and 12 seconds. But she is, in history, the first African-American woman to win a marathon. And that was back in... Suzanne, I need your help.
See?
I think
the whole team. Let's go.
Exactly. And I think it was the Baltimore Marathon and in maybe 1975, because she was one of the top 10 marathoners in the world in the mid to late 70s.
And so her family members are going to be running or a group running in tribute to her.
So it's an honorary team.
Okay.
And I'm going to do a plug for a film. So there's a film called Breaking 3 Hours.
Breaking 3 Hours?
Yes. It was developed by the National Black Marathoners Association with funding from the BAA. And it lists some of the members on the team: Alyssa Harvey, Sika Henry, Ingrid Walters, and Shawana White are some of the women that are part of that honorary team.
Okay.
And they are profiled in that video
in the film. Okay.
Because that's a feat for American-born Black women to do a marathon in under 3 hours. So members of that team will be there. So I had to mention that.
On Saturday?
Yes, on Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay, I'll make sure. I was planning on coming with my iPhone, but I might have to hit somebody up and take some real professional pictures because it just is. I was so amazed to meet the 77-year-old last year, and just hear about the different accomplishments that those in the room were making. Like, that is, with so much negativity going on in the world, just to be able to be familiar with all these stories of everyone, but especially Black and brown folks that are making these achievements that are also being healthy at their own pace. And so I'm excited. I'm excited about next Saturday. Rochelle, is there anything else? I see you look a little inquisitive and doing something.
The Breaking 3 Hours film is on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
Yes, it's on several different platforms.
Okay.
So it's just, I saw it, and some of the just stories and just the dialogue around their experiences are just like, I can align with some of that because we have certain fears when we move into certain spaces or what our experience will be like. And they talked about, how they push through those things.
I wish we had a little bit more heads up around this, because this would have been, I think, wonderful to maybe cast or do something in March for Women's History Month. But it's not, Women's History happens 24/7. Boom, look at both of y'all. So I really appreciate both of you all. Suzanne, is there anything that you missed that wanted to make sure you mentioned?
Yeah, the only thing I want to do is just thank everybody that's been a part of the journey with the BAA, from Thaddeus and Maisha Mitchell-Jordan for the Road to Wellness, and then everybody that's a part of the Boston Running Collaborative, because we at the BAA are really grateful that thankful Thursday, that they allow us to come alongside and work with them and learn from them and make the sport better and more accessible for everyone. So, and thank you for having me today.
Oh, absolutely. Now, is coming alongside, is that another running term? That, like, in this, I'm learning some of the vernacular. Oh, hold on. Look, Mr. Okay, it's not that often I can get you, so I'll just say Daddy come lately. But Uncle, it's good to see you in the room. I don't know if you just entered, but there is a lot of honor and tribute that was shared with you this morning around, you know, the Road to Wellness Hood Fit. I remember when this young man started it, and just the challenge. And so we appreciate you, Uncle Thaddeus. And Rochelle, he said he's going to beat her in
Whatever.
Uh-oh. It's about to get a little spicy in here. All right. I appreciate both of you. I'm going to go pay some bills, and I will see you guys on next Saturday. If you guys are around the afternoon or the early part of the 15th, let me know, because I'll kind of be down in the, you know, marathon finish line area. So it'd be great to meet up with you. But if not, I'll see you that afternoon, the 15th. Don't forget, everyone, next Saturday on the 15th from 4 to 7 p.m. Doors open at 3:30 at the Reggie Lewis Track and Athletic Center, 1350 Tremont Street, Boston, Mass. Free and open to the public. However, you see that scan code there, and also in the comments, I put the link. Please go and register so they have an idea that you are coming. And I think we're good. Rochelle just won last check. Anything else?
I have a whole ton, but that's another show.
Thaddeus, Rochelle, talk about what did you say earlier? I wasn't as social.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, I don't want to take away from that, because that is an achievement in sort of the mental wellness space. And so we want to lift that this has done that, you know, for you as well. And so I really appreciate both of you. I think this was awesome for me to end my week with both of you. And so I really appreciate it. And if not before, I'll see you guys next Saturday. And I'll be there about 3 o'clock, Rochelle. I'll try to be early.
Okay. Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay.
And thanks for the opportunity.
Oh,
I see Suzanne all the time, but you know, I got to come to your anniversaries and see you online.
So see how Suzanne, see how shady Rochelle is. You know, we can just I love you, Rochelle. No, I appreciate both of you, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Listen, everyone, don't forget to go out next Saturday at 4 p.m. Doors open at 3:30 at the Reggie Lewis Center. And it's a dope event. It really is a dope event. So thank you all for tuning in today. Today's my Friday. We will see you Monday at 9 a.m. with Dr. Brandy. On Tuesday, we have Project Ujima that is going to come and talk with us about their hold on. I'll put that information up on Monday, but they're coming in on Tuesday to talk about a wonderful initiative that they're launching. And then on Wednesday, we will be with the Boston Waterfront Coalition. And on Thursday, we'll let you guys know. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in today. And we will be all set. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Peace. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Did I see Pastor Odom in here? Pastor Odom, why don't we just end this week with a little tribute just for Pastor Odom? Y'all hold on for a few minutes. I want to send y'all away with just some laugh for this morning. This is a thing that Pastor Odom and I have been joking about for years. There's a young lady that loves the Lord, and she felt inspired to sing. And so I'm going to share with you all now this is in jest, and some people might fuss at me about making a little bit of fun of this young lady, but it's a little bit of comedy. I'm going to do it, Pastor Odom. Oh, that I got you and Pastor Odom in here. Listen, we go for these last few minutes with all 9 of y'all that are left. Y'all enjoy this wonderful video of one of Pastor Odom's favorite artists. No, see, this is what I get. Hold on, y'all. This is what I get. All right. Thank you, Uncle Thaddeus. We're going to get it together right now. Here we go. Chrome tab. There goes Ebony, y'all. All right, we're going to start it over. Oh, it's worth y'all waiting. This is.
I'm 13 years old. I live in America. I was born and raised here.
Can y'all hear it now?
I just want to say that I'm really grateful for everything and everything that God's given me, because without God, there is no treasure. And the Bible says in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. I think He created me for a reason, and He created me to do more, better, and bigger things. Well, necessarily, I may be young, but in Jesus' eyes, I'm the age that He created me to be. And I would live until I die. And until I die, I'm still going to be living, because in God's eyes, He lives. And I live in God. So I'm just going to give this little song, and I'm going to get out your way. It's so sweet to trust in Jesus, oh, just to hide me more. Oh, when the enemy comes in like a flood, I began to worry about the things, hallelujah, the things I used to do, but God, I belong to you. Yes, yes, and trials come, but I know it ain't easy to hand God. Oh, yes, to hand God.
All right. That's it. That's it. This thing went viral a few years ago. And today, Pastor Odom is going to talk about God bless her for her efforts. What took me out was when she hit that note and her mama said, "Shut up." All right. Anyway, just a little fun for y'all. Pastor Odom said, "Thank you." Leslie said her cat just ran. I'm getting off of here. Amen. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. We're asking for forgiveness. Thaddeus, y'all have a wonderful, thankful. I'm thankful for Sister Ebony Jenkins. She grew up. She's still singing for the Lord. Hallelujah. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thaddeus said, happy Passover and Easter. In all seriousness, happy resurrection to everyone this weekend. And make sure you log in and check out attend 7 Last Words. Have a happy resurrection, you all. Thanks for pulling it back in, Uncle Thaddeus. We appreciate you. Love you more, Ma. I love you, Pastor Odom. He said, Father, forgive, not them. Father, forgive Jim. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll see y'all on Monday at 9 a.m. Peace.